What's up? This is Ryan.
Hey, it's Michael. Welcome back to another episode of All Day Unpacked. We are coming at you here, going into week 3 of the NFL season. Real quick, let's recap week 2. Any games stick out to you? Any plays or players stick out to you?
Let's see. I am going through in my mind. I think the Saints are a huge surprise. So
Yeah,
that game against Dallas, the home opener, I heard tickets were going for an insane amount of money. And to go out there and get waxed. I know Cowboys fans are kind of a unique bunch, but I even feel sorry for them in this instance just a little bit. And that Raiders Ravens game, wow, that was
yeah,
crazy. And I know I'm going to save it for you. I'm just going to say Cardinals Rams. I know you're going to want to talk about that, so I'm going to leave that one for you. But that was another one I
yeah.
saw. Buccaneers beating the Lions in Detroit. Week 2 was full of surprises. My
It
Jaguars
was.
losing to the Browns. Are
How
you?
about Malik Willis getting a win against the Colts?
Yes.
The Colts looked so good against the Texans week 1, and then they're going against Malik Willis, and all they got to do is stop the run, and they still couldn't stop the run.
Yes.
That was one of the biggest surprises of the week for me. But
Right. One thing I will say, and this is more like a more in-depth football thing, but they said that the offense that not the full time, but some of the time the offense that the Packers was running was like a 1987 throwback offense. They
yeah,
were doing like these like spin move handoffs and stuff like that. I saw like a breakdown of it, and they were doing some really old school running styles, and it worked. And
sure did.
and the Colts knew it was coming. And
And they still couldn't stop it.
how about, did you see the clip of the quarterback or the center throwing up on the football?
I sure did. That
That
was
was
crazy.
there's a moment for you.
Yeah,
That's
that would be a
legendary.
great moment right there. That would be. I know they won't make it, but that would be fun one. That would be a fun one to have.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
I do want to go on one more thing, and that is, Kirk Cousins has gotten a lot of shit, but Kirk Cousins, should get, this should be like, it's too bad that they made a rare for him already in the what is it, the threads or
Well,
whatever set.
yeah, but it doesn't
that
have a
was
moment assigned to it, so it'll
that.
get
Oh,
him. This will be the moment.
there you go. That has to be the moment. That was good for him. Good for him. That was a
Yeah,
great comeback.
it really was, and I think it's So I think Kirk Cousins. I thought some really good games like that came out of it. That the way the Falcons finished, they didn't do so hot the whole game, but then when it
Yes.
counted, Kirk Cousins takes him down the field. I loved seeing an ex-Bear, Darnell Mooney, having 2 big catches on that drive, of course. But just seeing those guys like move the ball and look, I don't like having anything against the Eagles or whatever, but man, it's like you got to just love when games are like that and nice surprises. But
Oh
so
yeah.
that was a big takeaway for me. Another one was the Chiefs Bengals game. I love it. It's just like that game's always going to be a classic. It's kind of a bummer it came down to that pass interference.
It was pass interference, though.
It was.
Like,
It absolutely
I
was.
wanted the Chiefs to lose, but
Yeah,
it was
no,
pass
it was the
interference.
right call. I'm not saying it wasn't the
was,
right call,
yeah.
but it was just a
Yep.
bummer that it had to happen that way. You
Yep.
hate to see it, but hey, that's on that guy for for breaking just a half a second too early on that ball. But
Oh yeah.
you're right. I do want to talk about that Cardinals Rams game, man. I'll tell you what, they almost beat the Bills week 1, and then they put it together in week 2. And man, Marvin Harrison Jr., like you got a flash of what that guy is going to be in the NFL. And
Yep.
Kyler Murray, he's still got it. The Cardinals looked really good that game. I know the Rams were a little beat up, but
Yep.
I got to say that they look good. And then you got the Vikings upsetting the 49ers.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, and then you got the Patriots who, they were so close. Like there was a penalty in that game where it kind of
Yeah.
helped at the end or whatever and stuff.
Did Sam
Um,
Darnold get a moment assigned to his what's it called?
Did he? I don't know if he did or not yet.
If he
I
did,
don't think.
that Justin Jefferson bomb
Oh.
should be it. That was great.
Yeah, that was a great throw. So
Yep.
he's definitely showing that he's got a little bit left in the tank. I think a lot of people underestimated the Vikings, the Cardinals, not the Falcons. The Falcons, I think they probably were the Saints or the other team. I think those
Saints
three
are the
teams
big one. Yeah.
very underestimated. Yeah, the Saints. A lot of people thought the Saints. I heard people talking about how the Saints were going to be the worse than the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
And
Well, let's see how the Saints. Again, like sometimes we see this.
okay, but let's just be honest. The Carolina Panthers look terrible. Like they are not. The Carolina Panthers are
Yeah.
probably going to have the number 1 overall pick again.
Well, I wouldn't go that far that fast, but
All right, I'm going that far that fast. Come at me.
Yeah.
Oh God, they look bad.
Yeah,
They
last
benched Bryce Young.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I wonder if that wasn't more of like a we're just going to play Andy Dalton to show everybody how bad it is. Because again, they did an interview with Adam Thielen, and
Yeah.
he's like, "This is an 11-man group. This is not just one player." But then I see all these people trying to compare stats and saying he's like the worst since Jimmy Clausen.
Look,
So
I'm
it's
not.
like,
Yeah. All I know is that I was kind of reading up, and this wasn't like a rash decision. This was something that they were kind of like, hey, we're going to have to do this. They're doing it.
Yeah.
I'll be really interested to see how the Red Rocket can do for Carolina.
yeah,
There's a part of me that hopes he doesn't do so well, just because then, at least Bryce Young still got a chance. But there's the realistic part of me thinks he's probably going to come in and be better than Bryce Young. And I wonder if we're not seeing Bryce Young on like the Raiders or
the Dolphins,
the Dolphins could go after him for the season for a fill-in. So
Alabama to Alabama.
Yep. Yeah. So I've seen some.
That's
links
my
to
prediction.
both.
He's going to be in Miami.
I think why not? I mean, Miami's got a lot of weapons around. I mean,
Right.
it seems like he could play better in that system. So
Yes, he seems like he would be a fit.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami's not making some calls right now, trying to get him on the cheap. But yeah, that would be that would be such a huge thing to lose a first number one overall pick after less than 2 years. It would be unheard of. But
yes, well, I mean, and let's talk about the Tua thing too. I mean, again, like whether you think he should retire or not, that's a moment that's been worth quite a bit of money. His launch codes season 1, and that if he goes into retirement, what's the value in it if you're not a collector?
I don't think he's going to retire, but yeah, he's definitely out a few weeks. So I mean, so this is a great lead, and we're talking games, right? We're leading right into the game, right? So Playbook is back. It is not quite the fast break style where you can do multiple players that add up. It's more of a kind of like a parlay, right? You're predicting a player that's going to get this many yards, a player that's going to get this many touchdowns passing, this many tackles, this many sacks. So the first week goes down. 0 people won hard, 0 people won medium. I think it was 25 people won the easy level. So I think probably a lot less than they thought we're going to win in a week.
Because for easy, you don't get anything. It's just bragging.
No, you
rights.
do. You get $10. So it's
for easy. I'm sorry, I was thinking free play. Okay,
yeah, free play. I'm sure. Like I didn't see any numbers on free play just because.
Correct.
I mean, like I'm sure there's people who don't even play free play because why? You're not even getting. You get bragging rights. Like who gives a shit? Like they should do something there where like maybe they
get
make
a
it
Ted
like,
Washington.
Well, or just like get like 5 in a row and get a free pack or something. Like if you hit the free one 5 in a row, you get like a free pack or something.
I would much rather them lump a little bit off the top prize for the legendary version and throw something to the free play. I mean,
I get it. Like, look,
it doesn't need to be like $1,500 this time.
Yeah, it's what it was last time, and it should be. I mean, honestly, if
it was $1,400 and they took that 100 and just dispersed it across easy, I'd be completely fine with it.
But it wouldn't be dispersed across though. You're paying it per person, and so many people are going to hit it that it's going to add up. Like,
well, then make it a little bit harder.
Well, okay,
what's the like you said? What we won't hang.
Here's what I'm going to say:
the point
take
of
easy, make it. If you get 5 in a row, you get a free quick rip pack or something like that. So make it something. Just make there some.
You get a team moment.
There you go. You get one for the kids.
There you go.
Okay. Anyway, so we had nobody hit the mediums, nobody hit the hards, apparently,
right?
Or maybe I have to double check, but I feel like those were the numbers.
Let's skip all that. What's your opinion on it? I mean, like, what are we thinking here?
So my opinion on it is, I like it. I think it's fun. It's a great way to engage. It's not quite the fast break game. I think it would have been cool to have done something where it was like pick 3 running backs who are going to rush for, combined for 225 yards or something like that, which could have been really neat to try, but I get why they did the way they did it. So beggars can't be choosers. I like that we have Rumble back, so you can play like a fantasy football game.
Sure.
I like that we have this back. It's like it's really engaged the platform. You're seeing people like Buda Baker. Okay, Buda Baker's legendary was sitting at like $150, and now it's up around like $400 because people need someone who can make tackles on their. They need a legendary to play to get their tackles. So
it is bumping up like these random people.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
So I like seeing that. I think that's good for the ecosystem. I mean, I like that it's the other thing I like too is before it used to be like kind of like a hunt and peck where it was like you had to wait and see how it shook out and then go buy the player. Like, like
sure.
and then it was like, am I just sitting on the right player or not? Whereas now it's like you have to have a little bit of more football knowledge. It's not just pick, it's not just like find the guy who did it. It's
Yeah,
pick a guy who's going to do it and get that right. And looking at matchups, there's a little bit more of a skill component to it. So I dig it. I like it. I think they did a nice job of seeing that they made it really hard in week one with 9 tackles and 8
yeah.
tackles, and they toned it down to 3 tackles.
Hmm.
I think that's going to make a big difference. I think a lot of people missed. I don't think, I mean, honestly, on the legendary side, I don't think there was a legendary moment that had
That
enough
had
tackles. There was no way anyone could have won, I believe. So,
right.
I think they did a nice job of adjusting it down. I would not be shocked if we don't see a whole lot more winners this week. I feel like they made it a much more manageable,
Got
game.
it. Yeah, I agree. I think they did. I mean, what is it? 3 tackles now?
Yep, 3 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's much more manageable. I think
Yeah.
the defensive side is still something they got to kind of tweak a little bit because there's not enough players available in the legendary status. And again, the plan is not to do a bunch more legendary players, especially on the defensive side. So if that's the case, then how does that work necessarily? You
I
really
mean,
don't have
I
your
think there's
choices are very limited.
I disagree. I would say there's a pretty good number of legendary defensive players.
Well, eh, I
Each
feel
team
like
has,
if you were to look at the top tacklers right now in the
yep.
NFL, like the TJ Edwards, the Alex Singletons, the Foye
But you don't,
Olukons,
again, if
people like
it's 3 tackles, you don't need the top
if
tackler.
it's
You just
if
need it.
it's 3,
Right.
yeah, if
And
it's
that's what
3,
I'm saying. I think they recognize that. So it's like they adjusted down so that because a lot of the moments are like D linemen
sure,
or, that kind of thing. And so they adjusted it down. I think they were smart about that and making
sure,
it 3. That was the right call. So,
got it, okay,
so yeah, I agree. If they would have kept it at like 8-9, then 8-9, it was, again, like you said, you need to have like a top tackler on the team. Because
yes,
when you look at the stats, there's one, maybe 2 guys who get over 8 tackles on a team. And the
yeah,
chances of them having a legendary or a rare even, are
yes,
just so
yeah,
low. So,
yes, I
yeah.
agree, I agree.
Yeah. So, no, so hey, I think they learned a lesson week 1. They made an adjustment. Good on them for figuring it out and making that adjustment quick. I think next week when we report back, and I think, hopefully we're talking about how a bunch of people won the rare, and there was even a good handful of people that won the legendary level. I think that would be nice. I think, again, that's a good $100.
Yeah,
If you're buying rares, that gets you, a bunch of rares.
yeah,
1,500 for legendary. That's great. That, you can pocket a bunch of legendaries for that. So
that is true.
I
That is
like it.
true.
I like it a
Yep.
lot.
Great, great. All right.
All right. So that being said, I know that you've got some opinions about how that is affecting some of the moments that, kind of the main moments of the ecosystem, right?
Right.
The Mahomes debut, some of the debuts of the big guys and such. So
Right. So yeah.
what
So
what
let
do
me
you
just
see?
jump in. So let me just I'll start by saying this about the whole game. Um, I like it. I enjoyed it. It's fun. But I miss the old playbook being like. I feel like that should be paired with it. And maybe that's a big ask. I don't know. But I feel as though there's like we're putting like 6 or 7 moments down and we're saying okay, here we go, and then we're kind of shooting our shot, and do we miss completely? There's no, we're not, I don't know, I felt like we were crafting for moments. It felt like we were doing other things, and again sometimes you get lucky and you'd hold a moment. I kind of thought they would do a little bit of like the fast break style, like the I guess what's called now the playbook, but kind of the old playbook too. I feel like the mix between the two would be kind of nice. And again, it's kind of a big ask, but
Yeah.
the reason I say this all is because I looked at, there was a Justin Herbert that was for sale, and I think it was like number 30 something, serial number, and it was going for like 120 bucks. And I'm like, wow, that is a steal. I'm going to buy this. And then I sat down and I thought, why? Why am I going to buy this? What do I
Yeah.
need this for? Again, what do I need a low serial number for? I don't need it for the game. There's no, like, if you have this, you're not going to get anything. I just have it for bragging rights. That's all I've got it for at this point. And what I am noticing is that I like the playbook game. It's enjoyable. but it's kind of like I don't know. I don't want to call it a circle jerk, but it's kind of like this thing where it's like, sorry, excuse my language, but it just feels like, you get the new moments, you play them, you get rid of them. It doesn't. You're not building for the future. You're not building up a product that's going to last for the future. You're just you're getting in the new moments. Like I got the Caleb Williams, and I got this, and I got that, and it's like I play them now, and then as soon as like they turn out, now I've got like a Tua that is got a concussion issue. And now what I do with that moment's going to go like this. It's just going to go in the toilet.
Yeah.
And I have like a couple of moments that I always watch, and they're kind of my barometer. And I watched the Tom Brady common debut.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the, what's it called? The Patrick Mahomes debut rare. And I watched some of the top quarterbacks. And it's just, this overall trend is like, they were down, they kind of came back up, but it's like, they're going to go back down. And there's no reason for them to go up. There's no reason to buy a Tom Brady common debut anymore. There's no reason. That could be a $10 moment in about a year. And there's no reason. What you tell me what usage it has.
It doesn't have any usage, but at the
None.
same time, I think people collect still too. Like
why?
Because why did you collect football? Like this is the one thing that blows my mind a little bit. It's like, think of how much money people spend on football cards. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Now, what do? They have zero utility. People just collect them.
Well, I feel like they did. I mean, essentially let's go back to old school. There was Beckett magazine that had a value on it. I think everybody always thought, oh, I've got this card, it's worth this much money. And it was kind of like,
so moments have that inherently built in. I guess
they do, but it's a declining value.
Well, it's only declining because the people who are holding them aren't valuing them. So I understand that system exists, but it's like, but people who like I get it. Look, and I understand that digital moments, we want them to have utility, and I do too. But at the same time, it's like there has to be an inherent value of just collecting them. If not,
sure.
What are you collecting for then? Like, if all you're there is to play the game and such or whatever, that's fine. I think the idea behind the product is that it's meant to appeal to a wide number of people because there are collectors out there. I consider myself a collector. There are moments that I buy right now that I know have zero utility. But I'm a Bears fan, right? So I see an Urlacher, legendary come out.
Right.
I want it, right? That's a guy who I watched and who I rooted for. I want that moment. And so I'm willing to pay for that, even though I know it has no utility whatsoever. And so my point is that there are people out there who are Brady fans, and those are the people who will buy the Bradys and hold them because eventually, what's going to happen? Like there will be a historical Brady where it will be a legendary. And if you burn 20 of his debuts, you'll be able to get a free legendary or something. Again, you don't know what or when, but I think the idea is I think you see a lot of people who just want to chase what's right in front of them. So it's like, hey, rookies are hot. Guess what everybody's going to buy? Rookies.
Yep. And that's what everybody's chasing right now.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, it's, am I buying rookies? 100%. But at the same time, it's a great time to be looking and dipping into some of these other players. Like you said, here comes a Justin Herbert.
But why?
Because A, you like the player. B, they're going to have future utility. C, look, why do you say they're not?
I don't again, I have not in a long time seen anything. We have not seen any type of utility for a set. I mean, I've been saying this till I'm blue in the face. It's like, where the fuck is the utility for a set? Come on. Yeah. I mean, how fucking hard is that? It gets to me.
What do you get for having the set? What do you want the utility to be?
Throw paper at me. Throw plastic peanuts at me for it. Give me a fucking Ted Washington for it. I don't care. Just do something where it feels like there's a reason to own a set. The common base set number one. If I could reach right into the boardroom where they're making the decisions, I would say, for the fucking love of God, do something for common base set number one, just one time. Give me the worst moment you can think of. I don't care who it is, but just make it so people would actually say, because you remember, again, I go back to the Donald Driver one, where everybody was chasing this Donald Driver moment to again, it made something that maybe wasn't as valuable kind of blow up for a while. And that chase, that was kind of fun. I
Yeah.
feel like people like again, it made Donald Driver go way up in value, and everybody was chasing this moment.
Yeah,
It
it
got
was the
way out of
draft. It was the rounds of the draft. It was you had to have a guy who was drafted in each round, and Donald Driver
right.
was one of the few guys that
Correct.
was in that round.
And it's like you don't have to do that every week, but that was like again, I remember playing in that. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was interesting, and like I don't even remember if I had a moment. I don't remember where I was in all that, but I remember thinking this is kind of different. This is kind of cool. And
Yeah.
again, it's like having like having utility for some of these. You don't have to do it all the time. I don't even care if I have the set. Do it for a set I don't own. Look up my account, find one that I don't own, and do it for that one. It's
I
like
think that's coming
I
this
want
year. I really do. Like
I really
there are sets coming later in the year that are going to get released. Launch codes is coming back. All these sets are coming back. I'm telling you right now, just be
Road to
patient.
100. I mean, what are we collecting? It's just
Yeah. Hey, look,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
with you on Road to 100. Like Road to 100 feels like it should have some utility, and it has not so far.
I
I
don't
totally
own Road
understand.
to 100. Do Road to 100. Like
Right.
make the people who own Road to 100 give them some like credit for doing it. It's
Yeah. Well,
again
I
the
do think when you see launch codes come back, I think launch codes is going to be a thing where having launch codes from the prior seasons is going to
yes
benefit you in some way, whether it's burning them, locking them, trading them in, something.
yes
Like I do think that they're going to do that with those. So I do think that sets will play a role as those sets emerge throughout the season. But like what I would say right now is, hey, you're in week 2.
yep
We're like this is the last. Tomorrow
yeah
is the quick rip 4 drop. It's the last drop of the rookies. 90% of all the rookie moments
correct
are out in the wild after tomorrow. Okay,
yep
so to me, it's like the first few weeks have been all about the rookies, rightfully so. There's a lot of hype and excitement. But now,
okay
when we hit weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, now we're going to start getting good plays. Now we're going to, I bet you we're going to see like, oh, okay, like let's launch the first 5 launch codes, right? And hey, if you have launch code set 1, we're going to give you one of those players, or you're going to get a free pack or something or whatever.
or
So
it's going to be if you lock all the launch codes that you just bought, then we'll do something. So like you got to go out and buy all the new launch codes, and the old launch codes don't mean shit. They've done that number numerous times in a row where it's just like get all the new
they
launch
will
codes.
do that again. I guarantee you there will be
Yeah,
launch
but
code moments you're going to have to lock for. But what I'm saying
no,
is,
no, not lock 4, but they're saying that buy the entire set, lock it.
yeah,
That's what they're, and then you'll get a couple extra moments.
and then you get like you get like this guy and this guy.
That's to me, that's the oldest trick in the book.
Okay,
You know?
but what I'm saying is, in addition to that, they have said, and I don't. Again, we'll wait and see.
Sure.
But they have said they're going to make it so you can use your old collection
Yep.
to get your new collection. Now, I don't know if that means lock Series 1 to get new ones. I don't know if that means it might be burns, right? It might be
Yeah.
it might be whoever burns the most launch code. Like what they'll say is like, hey, you want we're going to do a launch code moment for Kyler Murray.
Yep.
If you want Kyler Murray's new launch code moment, we're going to do a giveaway for serial number 1, which is his jersey number on top. Or no, he's 3.
Yeah.
Never mind. But anyway, serial
Sure,
number 1. Whoever burns the most launch codes
Isn't he
in
number 1?
average sales price. Is he 1 or 3?
Yeah, he's number 1. He's
Okay,
number
for
1.
some reason I was thinking 3. Anyway, point being, like, so we're gonna give whoever burns the most launch code moments from Series 1, 2, and 2023, they're gonna get that. Like, I could see things like that happen.
Yes, and those are fantastic. I love those. Like I think like again, we're talking trade-ins here. The trade-ins, they're killing the trade-ins. That part is great.
Yeah,
I just
love the trade-ins.
I just see holes in the boat. And again, to me, like when I start to see like the Tom Brady dip in, and I see like the Patrick Mahomes dip in, and the Justin Herbert, like some of these moments that like Justin, like the Chargers are 2-0. Like people should be thinking, I want to get a hold of this Justin Herbert because this is going to help me. There's no reason to get it. And I see
Because you can get you don't need his debut moment. You just need a rare Justin Herbert or a legendary Justin Herbert.
But I guess what I'm saying is I see things getting devalued. And again, I think a lot of people are in this. Like, think about it like this. If you're in this NFT space or the digital collectible space and you see your moments kind of incrementally going up a little bit, it doesn't have to be a ton, but it makes you feel good. But the whole thing is the reason people are getting out is because if you read the comments that I see, they're like, they're not worth anything. The value keeps decreasing. So it's like you buy something.
But that's not true because look at Mahomes. Mahomes is like going up lately.
How much?
I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is he's not going down. He was selling for like four something at one point. And
Okay,
he's back.
you could get him in the high fours, and now he's selling it like he's 535.
Yeah. So I mean, the point is he's bounced up. Same thing with Herbert and like Lawrence and those guys. They were all down around like $99. Like they were
No, I
going.
don't think Herbert was in 99 territory.
Oh,
If
he
it
got
was, it was like a
close.
couple. I mean,
He got
again,
close.
he was in the $2,000 range.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Again, like I can, again, I can go with a small slide, but a big slide like that is massive. And so
I know, but that big slide has already happened. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's
yeah, what's done is done.
Right.
So don't make it worse.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's make it better then. How are you going to make it better? You going to burn them? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to make Justin Herbert go up?
If just to make Justin Herbert, I mean, again, sure. you could simply do something where you need to have like a quarterback that's doing well. Again, you could go back to the old school playbook.
But why but you're saying the debut. So what I'm saying is,
again, they used to do playbooks where they would say, have the debut of a quarterback that did this, this, and this.
And what I'm saying is the playbook has shifted to a format where you can get money to buy the moments. So that has happened. So now I know what you're saying, but those are the challenges. Those challenges are still going to happen. They haven't happened yet. We don't know if there's that. We do. They said there'd be challenges. They said those would be there. That's why it's a separate tab on the website.
Okay. Well,
now, they're mostly been trade-ins and stuff lately, but again, we'll see. So,
got it.
But I hear what you're saying. You want to see,
and I don't want to sit here and argue about it too much, but again, like I see rares in like $4 rares.
Yeah, historicals.
No. Like I mean, again.
Well, and fresh threads. Historicals and fresh threads. Let's talk.
Yeah, but it's fresh threads, and then what is it going to be next?
Fresh threads. There was one guy in fresh threads who didn't have a rare from before.
What's the point then? Why are we doing it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
And again, I'm not. I guess what I'm saying is, it's just like I just see like they're putting the writing on the wall. It's like when they do these things, it's like it's pretty soon, like. Rares could be down to $1. What's going to stop Randy White from going to $1?
The fact that there's so few. I mean, I think in the off season, it's just, again, like it'll just be massive burns to, get through that.
The thing that I think, like, here's what they used to do. And I thought they always used to do this well. They would always look at where things were getting real shitty. They would look at like the historical rares are in the shitter right now. They need to do some type of contest to get that out. Like, and again,
I hear you, but they're not going to do anything about historicals in the middle of the actual season. Maybe
why not?
Because no one gives a shit about historical right now.
Nobody needs to give them something like in return, like come up with like some type of craft a moment and just make that the thing that has to get them that moment.
I understand, but why wouldn't there's other moments that you've identified that are going lower too. So why wouldn't I just have them burn Justin Herbert rares instead?
You can have that going on as well.
Well, right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, to your point, so I'll say two things. One is the first thing the first thing I would look for is like you can create things where it's, like where you lock or you whatever, and it doesn't really matter if it's historical or not historical, just burn and its average sale price. The problem with the fresh threads and the problem with some of the more recent historicals is that their average sale prices are pretty much straight in line with their current prices. And so
to this point right here, why don't you just do a trade-in where you have to trade in only historical rares and have everybody just start trading those fuckers in left and right?
I think the idea would be to
clean the baseline.
Well, I think the idea would be to do a trade-in where it's not based on average sale price, but it's based on the number of whatever. Like, here's a new Cowboys moment. However many Cowboy rares you burn, then you get a point for each one. And Randy White just happens to be a Cowboy, so burn Randy White to the ground, right?
Right.
So that would be the way to do it, is to do it more based on like a point system for per burn,
right,
versus average sale price. I think that would help. But again, I can already hear the comment section. That's going to bring up the rare floor for about 5 hot seconds, and then it's going to fill right back up with a bunch of bullshit numbers. So
The
I
whole
know.
thing is if you don't try to fix it, it's only going to get worse and worse. And like, again, rares used to be like, we are like $9. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. If you do nothing about it, it will continuously, it's going to go to $1.
Yeah.
So rares will be $1. There's going to be a point where legendaries could be like $30. What
I
if
mean, yeah.
nobody
I mean, there
stops
is,
it?
yeah. Well,
If everybody keeps saying, "Oh, they're historicals," who cares? But what the psychology of it is that when you drop the floor lower and lower and lower, it's like people say, they're not really worth anything anymore," and it's like the respect for them goes out the window. A rare
yeah,
is nothing anymore. A rare used to be like, nothing. It's like a $9 moment. You're still spending
yeah.
like $10 on something, and that was the cheapest of the cheap. Now,
Rares used to be a lot more than $9 per
I'm
moment. But
just
yeah,
saying, like there was a point where we're like, is it going to go to 9? And
yeah,
now it's like it's at 4, and we're like, well, what are you going to do?
right.
To me, it's just like they're devaluing it.
I
You
mean,
got
yeah,
it. You got to do
there
something to
is,
stop that.
yeah. Well,
I'm
that's
sorry,
going to
but
be,
you got to do
yeah,
something to stop that.
it's
Like I
tough.
love the game and I love all that, but you like again, if they don't have any value, then how are they going to make money? How are they going to sell packs if everybody's? I mean, again, they're just the historicals,
Because
but
everybody wants the new.
yeah, I don't know. I don't see it that
I
way.
would be shocked if they, like, I think they flooded the historical market this offseason, just like
But
they
then fresh
flooded
threads
the,
too.
what's that?
Fresh threads as well, though. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like take the historicals out of it and just make it fresh threads. Nobody has any interest. There's no reason to have those. So again,
Right.
they keep throwing all these in
I
there.
mean, there is a reason in the sense of if you're playing that medium level game, what a great way to pick up Sam Darnold. I mean, a lot of people need a Sam
Darnold, yeah,
Darnold. A lot of
yep,
people need a Kirk Cousins. Like, what a cheap way to get those guys. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I mean, you could look at it like that for a couple of them, sure.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. There's got to be a way to get, to do something with that supply. With that's a whole discussion for
Yes,
another
and again,
time.
I feel like I had to get that out there because again, when I looked at that Justin Herbert, I wanted to buy it, but then I'm like, why? I'm not
Right.
going to buy this. It's a waste.
Yeah.
So again, maybe that's something that they need to think about because I think people are probably looking at these moments wanting to buy them, but then they realize there's no purpose in buying them. At least that's
No.
my take on it. I like
Understood.
collecting them, but at a certain point, I'm just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So,
Well, speaking of moments, there's more moments coming out tomorrow. Where, like I said earlier, Quick Rip Drop 4 is coming out. This is going to be the last one.
sure.
It's just a quick rip drop, so no premium pack. So $9 per pack, first come, first serve at 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And last time they sold out so fast. Most people that I know got somewhere between 7 and 14 packs per person, depending on how fast you were able to click around.
Yep.
I'm sure some people beat those numbers one way or the other, but that was kind of roughly where it landed. And yeah, they sold out super fast. So I would anticipate the same thing. We've got a Marvin Harrison Jr. Ultimate, one of those buried in over 7,500 packs. So
Okay.
that will be very interesting to see too, because that, the chase will be on for that. The most recent pack was a really interesting chase because the Malik Neighbors Ultimate did not reveal itself early, and so you saw it get down. It got way down in the pack numbers with those quick rips, and people were paying. I mean, I saw those packs going for like 50.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know where it topped out at, but I know
Yeah.
that it did get pulled now finally.
And what are the packs down to?
Now the packs are back down to $20, $23 actually.
Got it. Well, that's still pretty high
So,
for that
That's
situation.
kind of seems to be where they settle because they have like kind of an estimated value of about $20 per pack.
Okay.
So so I think you're seeing people, who are still wanting some of the moments in those packs. But yeah, you could see today, Wednesday, it looks like around let's see. Looks like it got pulled around 6 p.m. Well, just before 6 p.m., about 5 Pacific time, of course. About 5:45 p.m. it looks like it got pulled there because the pack price went from $59 to
Yeah.
$25 in a heartbeat. So
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, who pulled it?
that's a good question. I don't know who pulled it. If I'm looking
Okay.
at the The last pack bought was Fantasy Couch bought one for 58. Now, did he buy the one with the moon
Right,
in it?
right.
I don't know.
I sure hope so. Paying $58 for it.
Yeah, I sure do too. But I'm assuming he pulled it, but I don't know. I know he was buying a ton of packs. Like, I mean, a lot of packs. And he is holding, oh wow, he's holding a bunch of, or not a bunch. He's definitely holding some Ultimate Moments though.
Okay.
Let's see if he's holding. No, he's holding a James Harrison. So he did not get it.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious now, so I'm going to pull that up while you tell me. Are you buying packs tomorrow? Are you going to buy them and flip them? What's your thoughts about the packs tomorrow?
Are there any premiums?
No premium packs, just the quick rips.
So the premiums are done.
Yeah, there was no premiums last week either. They were only these last couple.
Right. So obviously I didn't partake in the last one. I won't be partaking in this one. I could probably flip them. I mean, there's probably some money in that, but I just, to me, it's not worth the time, I guess. What about yourself?
Yeah, I will be. I love these packs. Quick rip packs for $9 are like crack. I cannot say no. I would buy for $9. I would buy them all. Like, I mean, the value, you get more value out of them than you pay, pretty much guaranteed. So, yeah, count me in 100%.
Got it. And it
looks like Dills 1-3 got the pulled the neighbors.
Got it. And so it's just is it like the old school line for the packs?
Or it could have been this harmonious pied tamarind. Either way, as far as how it works like, yeah, it's no queue actually. You show up and you buy a pack and that's it. There's no queue, no nothing. The thing opens up and everybody just starts buying packs. So the nice thing is versus the draw that they did for the first two.
Well, I mean, can you go back and start buying multiples?
Yes, you can get right back in line. But
so you do get in the line.
Well, yeah, it's not a line though because you don't have to wait. You buy the pack, you buy another pack, you buy another pack. There's no line you wait for. It's just like you buy the pack, it delivers to your account, you hit refresh, you're back in, you're buying your next pack.
Got it.
So,
and how many are available?
7,500.
Those are going to go fast.
They are. But what's nice about this, and I will say, the first two is that it's like you had to put in for like 100 packs to get 10, or you had to put in for 200 packs to get 10, which was kind of ridiculous. Like, why put a hold on your credit card or put a hold on your Dapper for thousands of dollars just to get 10 packs? Whereas, and I get like the reason they did that was because tomorrow at that time, not everybody's going to be able to step away from work or whatever they're doing to get and do this. And so they did it that way for series 1 and 2 to give people a chance that way. And now they're saying, okay, if you can show up at the exact time, you're guaranteed at least one pack. Because the problem with the first two drops was that you had a lot of people who only put in for 5 or 6 packs because that's all they could afford, and they got 0. And now this way, it's like if you show up on time, there's not 7,500 active users. So if you show up when the thing drops and starts up tomorrow, I don't care how slow you go, you will get one pack. You will get one pack, and you will be happy. So I appreciate that they're doing this multiple ways to satisfy different people.
Sure. I'm
so
good with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It sucks that it's in the middle of a work day for a lot of people, but hey, everybody's got a shit. So you just time your shit with the drop and you head on in there with your mobile device and you buy packs while you're sitting on the shitter at work.
Yep.
That's a fucking pro tip right there.
Wonderful.
All right.
Just hope you got good service.
Exactly. Well, you get on the building Wi-Fi is what you do. Come on now. It's a rookie fucking move to be not on the Wi-Fi. Anyway, so after tomorrow, 90% of all these rookie moments will be out. I think that's fantastic. Like, I love that, like, there's not going to be a bunch sitting in, like reserve somewhere that could really affect the ecosystem. Now, there'll be some in packs that haven't been purchased and ripped.
Right.
That's fine. But they're out in the ecosystem. So, now the boards, those leaderboards will really start to shake out for like who's going to, because now you're going to start seeing people kind of jockeying to get in position to, to be on the boards and all that kind of stuff.
I just want to throw something out. Some of the moments are actually starting to populate. Some of the videos are starting to come in. So that's great to see. I saw like Brian Thomas Jr. I
Mm-hmm.
saw Jaden Daniels. I saw Caleb Williams. Some of these are starting to actually happen now.
I love
So
that
that's
the
cool.
moment they picked for Brian Thomas Jr. was the exact right moment for his debut.
Correct. I
That
thought the
catch over Jalen, yeah.
Caleb Williams one was kind of but
Unfortunately, that's his best play to date, so I understand why they had to pick that
yeah,
moment.
I
I
thought
personally
they
would
could
have
have
waited,
waited.
but I
Yeah,
get it. Yeah, I
yeah,
know, but it's hard because you don't want to wait. I'm sure the Marvin Harrison Jr. moment will come from the game
yeah,
against the Rams, like no
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Malik Neighbors got a moment, so he won't, but he could have easily. Um, yeah, so
And the Xavier Worthy one.
he got a moment from week one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's like the picture of him backwards. I don't understand why they do those. Those they just don't look that good. There's a couple of those that are existing. That's just not a
yeah,
good look. I think they should turn them around there.
more of an action shot with a
More
front
of an
forward.
action shot. I know
Yeah.
they all kind of look similar, but it just looks weird when you see like somebody from a distance. But again, whatever. That's just personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, but I
Oh,
get you. It's a
yeah,
fair critique.
yeah, yeah.
So,
But again, no, it's good to see some of these coming in. Let's talk week 3 really quick. What games are you looking forward to?
oh, I mean, so week 3 games that I'm looking forward to. Let's
Should
see.
I run them down here?
No, I got a few I can think of. The one of the games I think that might be sneaky good is the Texans at Minnesota.
Okay.
So I kind of like Sam Darnold's had a couple of good weeks. They upset the 49ers.
Yep.
Can they upset the Texans? Right? Like the
Okay.
Texans are 2-0, Vikings are 2-0. I feel like
Yep.
we know some Texans fans. They're flying pretty high right now, feeling like nobody's
Mm-hmm.
going to stop them. Kind of
Yep.
feel like maybe we'll see if the Vikings are for real or not. I'm curious to see that game.
Yes.
Uh, that'll be a good one. I think the Eagles Saints game is going to
Yep.
be an absolute shootout. I think that'll be a fun watch. I don't know who's going to win or who's going to if it might get lopsided, but I feel like that's going to be like a like 38-29 type of game or something, or where
I do kind of wonder if the Saints shit the bed though.
they might shit the bed, but they're at home, and the Eagles haven't
Yeah.
looked great, especially on
No, they haven't.
defense. So
But they're just kind of up and down. So
they
you never
are,
know.
but you know what? I'm not anyway. So that what I'm looking forward to. Cardinals Lions, I think, is a big game. Cardinals look hot. Lions should be pissed off after losing.
Yeah,
but
I
I
got
kind
the
of feel like
Lions
the
in that
Cardinals might match up well against them.
Nah.
You don't think so, huh?
I think the Lions got them. Here's
I
the
don't
game
think-
that I'm kind of interested to see is, and I don't like the Cowboys, but the Ravens at the Cowboys. The
Yeah.
Ravens need a win bad, and the Cowboys just got their ass kicked at home. So are the Cowboys going to take 2 big losses at home,
They sure are.
or are the Ravens going to go 0-3?
Nah, Ravens got that game. Lamar Jackson's going to go crazy on them, and like the Cowboys are a
Okay.
little bit. They're not looking great right now. So,
I mean, yeah, it could easily be that. I mean,
Yeah.
yep. And I think my Jaguars at the Bills. That should be a good game.
I think your Jags are going 0-3.
I think my Jags are going to win that game.
I hope so, just for parity in the league. But the Bills look a lot better. Like I thought the Bills would take a little while to gel with some of the talent on that team, but
Yeah.
I got to admit they gelled a lot faster than I thought they would. Like,
Yeah,
I
well,
will give the Bills credit where credit's due.
Yeah, you got your shitter tip. Here's my pro tip. The last 2 times they've played, the Jags have owned the Bills. So just keep that in mind. The next game is the Chiefs at the Falcons. I'm kind of wondering if that will not be a good game. I wonder if the Falcons pull that out.
I mean, it's in Atlanta, so I like that. The Chiefs barely beat the Bengals. I think a lot of it is just going to have to do with, it's just like kind of how the Falcons show up on that game. It's going to be, I don't know. I have some mixed feelings about that one. There's some stinky games too. We got the Panthers visiting the Raiders. I mean, who knows? Maybe Red Rocket shows out. I don't know. Packers at Titans. I think the Titans are going to get that win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how about this? What if Gardner Minshew is 2-1, and then you got Trevor Lawrence over there who potentially goes 0-3? How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, Gardner Minshew's doing a good job.
Yeah. You got Broncos at Buccaneers. So Bo Nix trying to get that first win flicked.
Bo Nix is kind of.
Yeah, he's not looked great.
Bo Nix is looking like Bo Nix.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So Chargers at the Steelers. That's 2-0 teams meeting up. That could be a good. I mean, Chargers don't travel to the East well, So I think that's going to negate that a little bit. Steelers got a defense that gets after it. Like
Chargers got that game.
You think Chargers got that game?
Yeah, I do.
I got the Steelers in that game.
All right, we'll see come next episode.
Yeah.
Commanders at Bengals. I think the Bengals,
Yep.
that's a favorable game for the Bengals.
Yeah,
Bears at Colts.
Bears Colts, I think that's another close game. It's in Indy, but
Bears better win that game.
I feel like they got to win that game just because after the Packers, we're like, all we can do is run the ball with Malik Willis, and we're going to run it on you, and they did it. I feel like if the Bears got to be able to go in and like impose some of that will. Like they got to get that run game going in that game. They got DeAndre Swift, they got Khalil Herbert. I feel like those guys can really like get the, like that. They got to just get ahead on the chains and like give Caleb Williams a chance because that O-line that they have right now is not performing.
Yeah.
So,
you
get the run game going though, it fixes a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. I think people are blaming the O-line a little too much, but I understand the numbers.
You look at his time to throw. It was in the top 10. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on Bears because I know you love that, but let's go to Giants Browns. So Giants at Browns. Giants looking for their first win. Browns 1-1 coming back.
Got in the bag. Yeah, Browns got in the bag. I think people are going to start saying maybe the Browns are going to turn it around here. I mean, you were telling me how the Browns were falling apart, and they're looking at being 2-1 possibly.
Well, I wouldn't say they're falling apart, but I'm just saying Deshaun Watson.
You said they were done.
I still think they're done. I don't think they're going anywhere this year.
Again, then they should be losing to the Giants because
they're not going to lose to the Giants. Giants stink.
Done. How about this? What about the Malik Willis Bowl?
I love the Malik Willis Bowl, and I think the Titans are going to win that game.
I do too.
So because I'll tell you what, the Titans front is a lot better than the Colts front, and the Packers aren't going to be able to just run Josh Jacobs all day. Now, I also didn't think the Packers were going to be able to run Josh Jacobs all day against the Colts, and I was wrong. But you know what? I'm doubling. And here's the thing: whenever I bet against the Packers, they always fuck me, and so fuck me. Here we go. Like I'm saying it. Like I'm going against the Packers again. I'm going Titans. I'm going to put money on this game. Fuck it. I don't learn my lesson very well. So
got it. Well, I'll tell you who the Packers got that's going to be working for them quite well, and that's going to be Will Levis because he loves to throw the ball to the other team.
That is a fair point.
So it's probably going to come down to some last second thing, and Will Levis will be like, "Hey, take this and run with it."
Yeah, Will Levis gives 2 balls away to the other team every game so far. So
good.
Packers are going to get to. I feel like, I don't know. We'll see, but I just can't imagine the Titans front just letting the Packers run all over them like they did. So we'll see.
And the last game that we really haven't, there's 2 games we haven't talked about: Dolphins at Seahawks.
Yep.
And then we haven't talked about Patriots at Jets. I think the Jets.
Or we haven't talked about Niners Rams.
Oh, the Niners Rams. That was the other one. I think the Rams get their first win. I think
they're
Dolphins
beat up. Cup's out. Puka's out. Cup's out. I don't see it. I think the Niners, even though the Niners aren't going to have McCaffrey, and I don't think Debo will be there, I think Purdy's going to throw to Ayuk. I think he's going to throw to Kittle. He'll spread the ball around. I'm looking at like Purdy having a lot of passing yards. I think they're going to run that new kid, Mason. Is it Mason?
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a decent game. I think they're going to handle the Rams no problem.
Okay. I got the Rams winning at home. They don't
I got the Niners.
The Seahawks, I think, walk all over the Dolphins. The Seahawks are kind of getting kind of lucky here. They're,
They pulled they pulled the Dolphins with no Tua. So they're going to have Skylar Thompson, who, again, he's all right, but I don't know. Geno Smith, no fluke. This dude is like, I love the renaissance of Geno Smith. I love that he's like back and playing. So good for Geno Smith. DK Metcalf's kind of showing up. So I like the Seahawks at home. I'm sure there's a spread there that's pretty decent. So we'll see.
And then the Jets. I think we're going to start to see the Jets play well. I don't know how the Jets are going to finish the season, but I feel like the Jets are going to start winning some games here, and people are going to start saying, here we go.
That team they're starting to kind of come together and gel. He's not even throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson that much, and I feel like Garrett Wilson's like his next Devontae Adams. Like that's like you can see it. Garrett Wilson's a stud. He just needs to feed the ball to him. Brees Hall's looking good. That new Allen, is it? What's his name? Braden? No,
Braylon or something.
No, it's like Braden. Anyway, Allen from the Jets. He's got 2 touchdowns. He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last game that we got to touch on is Broncos at Bucket. Oh no, we did. We talked about that. We talked about
we've talked about them all.
So
all right. Well, I mean, again, we're talking about Playbook. We only need 3 tackles, so I think there's some pretty easy shots. Is it 3 for medium too?
It's 3 at all levels.
3 at all levels.
3 plus at all levels.
Then 3 will be really easy on the rear side. So yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see if they're willing to give out all this money.
Well, I think they had a lot left over from last week, so they're probably like, yeah, we need to give out a little extra.
They don't want to make it too easy, where it's like,
I think if I remember right,
is it $1,500 per person, or is it $1,500 split up
per?
This could get kind of. I mean, I can see where this could backfire.
No, it's not going to dude. They probably had a number where they thought, hey, we're going to give away $1,000, $1,500 prizes last week. They gave away none. And so they're like, okay, we need to like tone this down. So like, they're probably just kind of finding, it's Goldilocks, right? Last week was too hard. This week, maybe a little too easy. Next week, it'll be like 5
What if it worked out?
7.
What if like 60 people won?
Great.
It's great for us. Yeah.
As long as I'm one of the
skyrocket at NFL Day.
I mean, 60 is a lot, but maybe. I don't know how many people are, I guess it'd be interesting to know how many people are playing the game. A lot of people I know are like, I've like seen some of the comments where like people are counting on like Daniel Jones to throw 2 touchdowns, right? Or people are buying cheap Geno Smiths. So people are very like, they're counting on certain players to really deliver. Right. So if, again, if Geno Smith and Daniel Jones go off, you might see 60 people win. But if it's only certain guys, throwing 2 touchdown passes is not like a lock. Like right now, especially, it's like I was looking around and it's like
the league,
a lot of these guys,
not doing it. Yep.
Yeah. Two touchdown passes right now is a premium.
Yeah.
There's only a few guys that are doing it. So.
Yep. You probably want to stick with the more pass heavy quarterbacks.
Well, and that's just it. Is it's like you stick with those guys, and then it's like you never know, right? They get down to the 1 yard line because there's a couple pass interference calls, and then they're running it in. Mm-hmm. Where you look at like you would think last week the Panthers got beat up on who beat them up this last week? The Saints beat them up week 1. Chargers this week. Do you want to know how many yards Justin Herbert had passing against the Carolina Panthers?
88.
130.
Okay.
Because they ran for over 200. So
did you see some of the formations they're doing?
Who, the Chargers?
Yeah, 8 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically took the Michigan formation that they were running at the university, and they just.
I felt like they were just fucking with the Panthers. They were like, we're just going to kill the Panthers, so we might as well just try a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah.
So that was the game to do it for sure. So.
Yep.
All right.
So all right. Well, let's end this thing.
Yep.
And move on, and we'll see you after next week, and hopefully there's 60 winners out there, and everybody's rolling in the Dapper Bucks.
Yeah, let us know below, like if you're playing, what you're playing, what's going on, who you're picking, who you're rolling with, all that good stuff. And the other thing real quick is we will be getting this back out on Spotify so that people can actually just listen if they want and not have to look at our lovely faces at all times. So that'll be coming soon, so look for that. But otherwise, appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Later.
Peace.